Hi, this is Mr. Hun. I like to think of myself as an amateur monetary historian, and I want to share interesting piece of information that I just actually relatively recently I've found. Um, and we're going to look at an entry in Wikipedia. And the reason why I use Wikipedia is that Wikipedia, if you didn't know, tends to lean left. Not It's not conservative, and it's not considered to be a website used by or created by conspiracy theorists or crackpots. I typically describe myself as a crackpot and a conspiracy theorist. So Wikipedia is would be the I would say basically the opposite. So in terms of monetary history, um, kids, teens, adults have been taught this idea that in the past, barter was the beginning of money. So before money, people bartered with whatever goods and services that they were able to gather, generate, produce, or provide. So So you probably heard this. You probably already heard this before. In trade, barter is a system of exchange in which participants in a transaction directly exchange goods or services for other goods or services without using a medium of exchange, such as money. But then you have to keep in mind that money could have been seashells. Okay, so for primitive societies without access to technology or paper, they may have used seashells or some other readily available, what we could say as items that could be used as currency or tokens. Okay, but this is a really interesting part here is that I think I read this in another source. I don't remember what that was. I don't believe it was Wikipedia. I could be wrong. But what's interesting here, it says the second paragraph it contradicts this common notion that before money, we people, humans in early human history used barter. They bartered goods and services. It says here in the second paragraph, which contradicts this common notion of bartering as the precursor, what humans did before the creation of some type of money or currency. It says here, no ethnographic studies have shown that any present or past society has used barter without. So a lot of societies in the past and even today, people do barter. I mean, barter happens, it's 2025, and people today, they do barter. Okay. No ethnic studies have shown that any present or past society has used barter without any other medium of exchange or measurement. And anthropologists have found no evidence that money emerged from barter. So that kind of contradicts this common notion that before money, people bartered. Okay, barter for trade. So, nevertheless, economists since the times of Adam Smith often imagined pre modern societies for the sake of showing how the inefficiency of barter explains the emergence of money and the economy, and hence the discipline of economics itself. So I think so. This notion that before there was money or currency, primitive cultures, primitive peoples, early humans, they only relied on barter. That's so there doesn't seem to be any evidence that that is the case. What is more likely is that it was a combination of bartering plus some type of medium of exchange, either gold or silver or seashells or something, or maybe salt, right? So something other than just the bartering by itself. There is something being used as a medium exchange. And actually, um, what's actually the actually what's the what actually should be the and this is a lot of people don't understand this is actually what actually was the precursor of money was actually debt. debt, credit, debt was actually the precursor of money and currency that we know today. Actually, that's actually the more closer to the actual truth, where actually there is evidence of debt. Early societies of early societies employing this concept of debt or credit.